I mean, when you have a day like this, okay, I swear it was so sunny yesterday. Yesterday it was basically like Barcelona. Today it's more like a place that ends in the name Shire, and where people insist on pronouncing it wrong. Well, with Gezonderdlebussen. We are out here in the Netherlands. If you haven't figured it out yet, don't know why you wouldn't, it's obvious. We're standing here waiting for the other hoof to drop. See? Okay. And we're going to do two things today. Number one, we're going to go someplace and have a look around, and we're going to take you with me. And number two, we're going to compare the Oneplus Buds 3 and the Nothing Ear A and see which of those two earbuds I would choose today. That rhymed. I did not mean it to, but that was cool. That was cool. Given that we are in the Netherlands, you might think, oh, we're going to Amsterdam today. No, we're not. Instead, we're going to... What is this keyboard? What is this? Debit und credit card, yeah. Look, it's Snoop Dogg. While we're waiting for the train, let's talk about build quality, comfort, pocketability, the things you really want straight out of the gate when you choose a Bluetooth IEM. So between the Oneplus Buds 3 and the Nothing Ear A, both are approximately the same price. The Nothing Ear A is definitely more pocketable, I gotta give it that. It is way thinner, slimmer, easier, and the Oneplus is a little bit more chunky. Neither are actually a problem, but if I had to choose, it would be the Nothing Ear A just for that. And on a gloomy day like this, you want a little pizzazz. And nothing says pizzazz like a nothing design. And to be fair, in the ear, they are both very comfortable. Like, I won't really discriminate on trains. That's not nice. Okay, this one will do. Seats are slightly nasty, but that's alright. Public transport. It's, part of the health program. Build immunity. That's what it is. Anyway, the train got cancelled. So now we're going to Schiphol Airport and then changing a train to Amsterdam Central and then changing a train or something. We'll get there. The next thing is probably control scheme, because that's your next point of friction in using the thing, and pairing. Pairing is instantaneous on all these devices nowadays, I wouldn't bother. But the control scheme is either squeeze controls for the Nothing Ear A or touch controls for the Oneplus Buds 3. Between the two, it's easier to locate the squeeze controls because there's a little notch. It's very subtle, but it's there, and that makes it a little bit easier, but you have to squeeze it nonetheless, and not everyone's down for that. The Oneplus, it's harder to find the spot. It's actually at the top of your earbud, and that can get a little frustrating trying to find the spot. Once you get used to it, it's a bit better. But you don't have to squeeze it. Touch controls are responsive, and you've got swipe up and down for volume, which I think is quite a nice thing. On the Nothing, you've got a double pinch and hold for volume up and down on the left or right earbud respectively. So it's a little bit harder to use, if I'm being honest. You can get used to either one. That comes down to preference. I think the Oneplus Buds is a little easier to use, but in the dark or while you're walking around and you're absent-mindedly reaching for something, the Nothing Ear A has that notch, which is, it's a bit more convenient. Hang on. Oh. Nearly left these behind. Jeez. Whew. This is why you shouldn't have too many things in your hand. Alright, the train doesn't go for another 10-12 minutes or so, so we've got a little bit of time. And I see an electronics place. Oh, the Sony Ultimate thingy, the new hyper bass ones, that's gonna be crap. Sonos, they have the new Sonos. Oh, they've got the new Sonos Ace. Oh, I like the white one. Live impressions of the Sonos Ace, because why not? Get a whole bunch of JBLs just thrown about. This is what you do with JBLs. It's just there for the taking. You got the shocks over there. The Open Run, shout out DHRME. You got Marshalls, not buying those. Toothbrushes, could always do with a toothbrush. Yup. Drones, Fujifilm Instax Minis. GoPro, meet GoPro. GoPro, meet GoPro. These things, everybody seems to want one. Everybody seems to want one. No one tells me why. That's a pretty cool store. You can buy a PlayStation and a Sonos Ace on the go. That's fun. Alright, we might have pushed that a little. The train is due in 1 minute, so I'm gonna get down to the platform. Can't miss this one. I don't know when the next one will be. Oh boy. Oops, sorry. Platform 4 is on this side. Either I've missed it or it hasn't come yet. Oh, it's been delayed 5 minutes. We got an extra 5 minutes. We could have totally bought a PlayStation. The seats are a bit cleaner on this one. Okay, I lied. We're going to Amsterdam. Okay, I lied again. We're not going to Amsterdam. We're just passing through to get to Volendam. We got to keep our eye on the price. Why? Look, Amsterdam, it's just one of those big cities with a lot of money and everything that comes with having a lot of money, right? Instead, Volendam, that's where all the poor people live with no money, who are holding on to history as a means of copium. But we all know that means character and much better material for a vlog. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even though Casey Neistat literally did vlogs in New York City for 2 years straight, I am foolish. The next thing you want to possibly talk about once it's in your ear is probably noise cancelling. Actually, you probably want to talk about features, but they have the same feature set. They've both got Bluetooth, multi-point with the latest codecs, LDAC, AAC, all that jazz. There's really not much to talk about. The one thing I'll notice is if you're going to watch YouTube videos, the lag is not fantastic on either one of them, but the latency is much higher on the Nothing Ear A. So if you want low latency, even with low lag mode, the Nothing Ear A shouldn't be on your list, but the Oneplus does seem to fare a bit better. Having said that, for noise cancelling, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Here's the thing. Oneplus actually cancels out more in the lows and the mids than the Nothing Ear A, at least subjectively, and this is backed up with objective data as well. But OnePlus does this weird thing where it'll cut out a lot of mid-frequency stuff, but then the high-frequency stuff comes in, and it sort of puts a focus on the highs, and it's really a bit odd. It's really good where it is, but then it's really bad in the high frequencies, and that makes it overall a bit annoying in very noisy situations. On a bus, though, it works just fine. The Nothing Ear A also cuts out more in the highs than in the mids, but the difference isn't that much. So while the Nothing Ear A is decidedly more mediocre, it's equally mediocre across the frequency range, right? So everything sounds a little more evenly reduced. So between the two, weirdly, I would kind of pick the Nothing. Just there's something jarring about the way the OnePlus does it. And the same thing goes for transparency as well, eh? If you want to hear the outside world, the OnePlus does so good in the mids, right? It's so good. It's almost one-to-one. It's like AirPods Pro level almost. It's really good. But then it cuts out the highs a lot. So the world sounds pretty decent, but without any high frequency sound coming in. It's again a very odd thing, but it's not too bad. Like it's actually quite decent overall. The Nothing Ear just reduces all the frequencies. Even in transparency mode, it reduces everything by about 10 decibels, I think. But then it's really even. So the Nothing Ear A is more finessed, but everything's a bit quieter, and it does seem a little bit better. But the Oneplus Buds 3, in this case, I wouldn't actually mind because it does a pretty decent job overall. So I would say transparency is up to you, but for noise cancelling alone, honestly, somehow the Nothing Ear A is just better simply because it's more even. Here we are, Volendam. It's actually a cute little town. Where do we go? This way? It's a cute street that way. Let's head down this way for a bit, and then we'll come back here and head that way because I think that way lies goodness. It might start raining anytime. It is overcast, which means IP ratings are important. Now, the Nothing Ear A has an IP54 rating, but the OnePlus Buds 3, wait for it. You ready for this? You sitting down? IP55. I can tell I can see, I don't want to see, but I can, you're excited. I can tell you're excited. This is good stuff. So this is just rows of really cute houses and manicured trees and happiness. That's what this place is all about, you're telling me? I mean, can you imagine living here? Now the next thing is you might want to take a phone call or listen to music. So we should talk about both those things. Remember I spoke about lag before, latency? that's more for video, right? But if you're listening to audio, it doesn't make so much of a difference. So let's talk about sound quality for a second. Okay, there's a couple of important distinctions. Wow. Sound quality. There's a couple of important distinctions to make between them. There are two aspects to sound quality. There are certain things that IEMs can be capable of depending on the kind of drivers they use and whatnot. And then there's the tuning, the balance between the bass, the mids and the highs. And quite honestly, it's the tuning that makes most of the difference. But today is illustrative of how both of those things can be separate and can make a case for each one of them. So for the Nothing Ear A, nearly ran me over. For the Nothing Ear A, I think the tuning is better than the Oneplus Buds 3. It's just, it doesn't overemphasize the highs like the Oneplus does, and which means they're not just trying to get you to believe there's a lot of detail when it's actually just pushing the treble in your face, which is something that Oneplus loves to do, like it or not. It's got bass, it's got the mids where it's supposed to be. It's honestly okay. It's like Nothing just learnt everything they did wrong from the Nothing Ear 1, and now they know to tick the boxes. But, and this is the important part, it's not that great. Like, it's okay. It's a perfectly reasonably fun sound experience. And it sounds just as unexciting as that sentence did. Because the bass hits, but it doesn't hit with that much tightness or punchiness or detail. It hits, it's there, it's not bad, but it's nothing to write home about. Same thing goes for the vocals and the highs. Everything is fine, just fine. Because technical capability, the speed of the driver, all those things seem to be missing a bit. But the Oneplus, even though it's not tuned that well, in fact it's tuned quite horrendously. I did a whole video on it. I'm not going to get into it, right? It could do with EQ, but when you EQ it, you realize that the Oneplus Buds 3 has really good drivers. Like that thing, when the bass hits, it's tighter, it's punchier, it's more textured, it's more detailed. The mids sound great, and if you tone down the highs, the whole thing, it just sounds sonically more capable than the Nothing Ear A. The problem is, you will have to use an external EQ, because the EQ that comes in the app, that's another thing. The app for the Oneplus is called Hey Melody app, not the Oneplus app. I don't know why. But in the app, the EQ is not able to fix my perceived issues with the Oneplus. The Nothing Ear A also has issues with its EQ, but I have discussed what EQ settings I can recommend in the full video. But either ways, you need EQ to get the most out of these two. But without EQ, the Nothing Ear A sounds better than the Oneplus, only because OnePlus they just go for a really weird, hyper bassy, hyper trebly, so-called balanced preset, which is not balanced at all. But when you EQ them, the Oneplus is just more capable. It is just much more capable. So I would actually recommend that you get the Oneplus Buds 3, apply a little EQ, and you'll just be better off for it. Honestly, it's a much more fun sound, something you can actually talk to people about. Whereas with the Nothing, you'll be like, yeah, it's great, man. It's a thing that makes sound. Yeah. So that's your town square, and that little bridge that goes over. I gotta go there now. Just have to go. How cute is this place? This thing is adorable, man. I could totally see myself getting bored here in life. Totally. Now the other thing that's worth talking about with anything that's portable, anything that you carry with yourself when you're traveling, is battery life. And if this is important to you, this is more important to you than everything else, it's the Nothing Ear A. The Oneplus is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. It'll go for your usual, 4-5 hours in charge, put it back in the case. It's got quick charge, really fast quick charge, and that's all fine. But the Nothing Ear A has all of that, and it just lasts insane on one battery. Like with ANC on, without LDAC running, and there's not that much of a difference in sound quality with and without LDAC on this device. I mean, I got well over 6.5-7 hours. Well over 6.5-7 hours, which is nuts. So if you're on the go, if you're traveling, and if you need something to last above all else, it's gotta be the Nothing Ear A. It has to be. Ooh, I think I found something really cool. Oh. There were stairs. There were stairs. I could have taken the stairs. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, it's El Capitan. Say hello to the captain. The captain of the ship?
Of the ship, correct.
Oh, that's very cool. Where do you guys go?
You go to market. Peninsula on the other side.
There's a peninsula on the other side?
Yes, a small traditional place.
Really? And how long does it take to go there?
Takes half an hour.
So you go there, you come back. That's your deal.
Yeah, you can either take the bus back to Amsterdam or you take the boat at any time.
Oh,
Whenever you like, it's hop on, hop off.
that's cool. Are you the captain of that one as well?
Not that one, no. That one is from Utrecht.
Ah, so the Utrecht people just left it here? They didn't even... That's irresponsible. So apparently I can rent this thing out. Look at this bad boy. That's crazy. Wait, does it come with the crew? I don't know. Or at least with really good insurance, because one or the other, right? Look at that. It's got a red gremlin thing and I don't know what it is. Yup, it's very long. We get it. That's from Utrecht. Alright, so we found the touristy place with all the nice places to eat and drink right by the water. You know what? I think it's time we sat down and got ourselves a nice old beverage. Found a cozy spot with a great view. I mean, this is just fantastic. Now, the question we've all been waiting for, which one would I actually choose on a day like this? And the answer is the Sony XM5. Honestly, it's crazy. It's just better than all of them because these act as earmuffs, but they can also make sound. I mean, why would you even think about earbuds on a cold day? Alright, enough shenanigans. This is it. This is the moment. I have to choose one or the other. And if I have to choose one over the other, personally, I'm probably gonna go with the Oneplus Buds 3. And it's not that it's just a tough one, right? If I value sound quality over everything else, and I do, that's just me, I'm going to use an external EQ like wavelet, and then I'm going to sculpt the sound of the OnePlus Buds 3 to sound awesome, and then it's just going to give me a better experience overall. If sound was not the most important thing to me, battery life, even transparency, more even noise cancelling, and did I mention battery life? Then it's going to be the nothing here, eh? So it really depends on what you want. Tell me what you would pick in the comments down below. It's the XM5, right? I'll stop now. I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, stay peaceful, stay colorful. Namaste. Hits the spot every time, dude. So good. So good.